Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exciting episode of Trigger Warning Radio. I am your host, the Kaiju Conservative. So Monday night, President Trump, in an exclusive interview with Axios on HBO, admitted that he was taking a hard look at the 14th Amendment and the Birthright citizenship clause and how it's been applied to allow basically anybody from any country to come in for a day trip to the U.S., pop out a baby, and blam, you've got an American citizen and you have a right to stay in this country now. Let's go ahead and, before we get any further with any of this, let's go ahead and let's take a look at Trump's remarks during that interview.
On immigration, some legal scholars believe you can get rid of birthright citizenship without changing the Constitution.
With an executive order.
Exactly.
Right.
Have you thought about that?
Yes.
Tell me more.
It was always told to me that you needed a constitutional amendment.
Right.
Guess
14th
what?
Amendment.
You don't.
You don't.
Number one, you don't need that. Number two,
I mean, that's in dispute.
You could definitely
That's very much in dispute.
Well, you can definitely do it with an act of Congress, but now they're saying I can do it just with an executive order. Now, how ridiculous. We're the only country in the world where a person comes in, has a baby, and the baby is essentially a citizen of the United States for 85 years with all of those benefits. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And it has to end.
Have you talked about that with counsel?
Yeah, I have.
So where in the process?
It's in the process. It'll happen.
Now, of course, this latest quote-unquote assault on the Constitution by dictator President Trump sent the left into fits of apoplectic rage. They took to Twitter and spent the entire day, Tuesday just about, vociferously defending the U.S. Constitution that they so hate and loathe. I mean, you can see some of the responses up on your screen, some of the tweets that I gathered up on your screen. But these are people that don't view the Constitution as all that important in this country, folks. The same people that you see complaining about Trump gutting the 14th Amendment and talking about how the Constitution says that he can't do that, and it's the law of the land and so on and so forth. These are the same people that in the same breath will argue that the Constitution is a living document that needs to be rewritten in order to fit with the times, or they will flat out argue that it just does not apply anymore because it was written by a bunch of old racist white men 300 years ago almost, which is it's absolutely hilarious, the cognitive dissonance that these people must be feeling, having to defend the thing that they absolutely hate. Now, of course, you know, the Constitution means absolutely nothing to leftists when they're going after guns or when they're censoring free speech on the internet or in any other sort of venue. No, the First Amendment of the Constitution and the Second Amendment of the Constitution don't apply as much as the 14th Amendment does, ladies and gentlemen. Now, why is that, you might ask? Well, of course, the 14th Amendment is what makes it possible for the Democrat base to continuously grow. I mean, it's what, the way it's been interpreted in recent years, it's what makes it possible for, you know, somebody to come into this country like on a shopping trip for the day, pop out a baby, and then, oh, wow, the baby's automatically an American citizen and has the right to stay in this country, as do the parents, which is not how the 14th Amendment was intended to be. You know, it was intended to combat slavery and among other things, and it was not intended to allow Pablo and his wife to come in, pop out a baby, and automatically gain a pathway to citizenship in America. It's not the case. No matter how much you want it to be, it's not how it works, or it's not how it's supposed to work, at least. Now, there's, of course, a lot of discussion as to whether or not President Trump can actually do this. Can he issue an executive order technically overriding part of the Constitution? I imagine this is going to be challenged in court immediately as soon as it's signed. I'm sure there's going to be a Hawaiian judge out there that will rule this unconstitutional or whatever. And I mean, there's a real question as to whether or not something like this would make it in the courts. Now, Lindsey Graham, of all people, I'm hearing some news that Lindsey Graham is currently working on a legislative fix to back up Trump's play, which shocked the hell out of me. I never would have figured that Gramnesty would have been the one to do something like that, but here we are. I guess the left really pissed him the hell off with the whole Kavanaugh thing. I knew they were going to regret doing that, and it's looking like that's turning out to be true. So anyway, beyond the legal battle, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, this is a great opportunity for the Republican Party and for conservatism in general, because what this is going to do is it's going to shine a spotlight on the anchor baby situation. The anchor baby population in this country has ballooned in recent decades to the point where it's almost ridiculous. Now, what this is going to do is this is going to shine the light on that, because this is something that not a lot of Americans might know or might realize, or they might not know how bad it's gotten. So anything that's going to get this debate out in the open and get people actually taking a look at this and seriously thinking about it is a good thing. The other reason it's going to be a good thing is because, once again, it's going to force the Democrats to choose foreigners over Americans, just like with the migrant caravan that's currently going on right now, just like with the DACA shutdown that happened last year. It's going to end up very, very badly for the Democrats. It's going to remind people that Democrats are not the party of Americans. They are the party of foreigners. They are the party that is against America. They make America great again? No, they don't want to do that. They never have. And this whole debate is going to shine the spotlight on that once again. I don't think it's a coincidence that this is happening a week before the midterms. I think Trump is expecting a pretty big win on Election Day, and I think he's expecting that this is going to go forward. Whether it does or not, who knows, but at least he's trying. Hey guys, thanks so much for listening. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments section below. As always, if you liked what you heard, leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Both those things help me out quite a bit, and I will see you all next time.